Hey guys, what's up? This is Jen, and today we're going to talk about what do you do when you realize that you have created a bad habit on the guitar. What are your options for kind of unwinding it or untangling it and making your playing or your technique or your transitions better or more of what you want, knowing now that something isn't going right, that you've built something that is only going to take you so far. So I'm going to give you a couple suggestions for how to deal with that. So the first thing is, don't play something that you already know. If you play this chord progression, and your thumb is over the top, whatever it is, and you're realizing like, oh my God, that's creating so much tension, but I've been playing this for years this way, like I can't stop it. Part of what's happening is that it's all in your muscle memory now. So if you want to create a better habit or a different habit, you have to approach something that you've never done before. So don't pick that progression or don't pick that song. But let's just say you have a problem with your thumb being over the neck and you're noticing it's causing tension here in your shoulders. You can't transition as fast. Happens a lot. You've got to pick another chord progression or something to do that you have no familiarity with at all. So you can start to retrain how you see the guitar or how your hands are feeling it. So for instance, instead of doing C, where you immediately go here, try a different chord. Try, let's just say A minor. And you want to say, okay, I'm dropping my palm. It's not about going quickly through the song or even really learning the song. It's about paying attention to what your hands are doing. So everything is going to be much slower. So you just kind of go, okay, I'm watching. Now I want to go to this D minor chord. There it is. There it is. My thumb is over. That's not what I want. You drop it down again. And then you slowly, I call it like doing the Matrix. You know how how the bullets are flying and he's going like super slow and you can see everything really slow. That's what you have to do with your playing, is you have to feel like, okay, my thumb wants to come up here and I'm going to interrupt that cycle and keep it down. It's going to be, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be excruciating for a while. And especially if the habit is really deep, it's going to be frustrating. You're going to want to immediately go back to, what feels comfortable, even if it doesn't sound good. But I promise you, if you just take a couple minutes a day, or a couple minutes every other day with your practice session, you will notice a big difference and you're going to catch it a lot sooner. So instead of like, here's like A minor and then D minor, and then notice like as it went on, my thumb kind of came up. Now this is exaggerated, but this is what's going to happen to you. So you want to just go like this. Pay attention to how little you need to move to get to these chords, and just feel that the thumb wants to come up. Just say, nah buddy, not today. You don't need to work so hard. But you see, I have no preconceived notions of how this should sound. A lot of the times we put so much pressure on ourselves with songs to play it at speed, or it's like a failure or anything like that. So immediately we're going to want to play faster. We're going to go into muscle memory, and we're not going to be aware of how our body is moving. Does that make sense? So you have to take that time to just breathe and be aware of what's happening. The same goes for your strumming hand. If things aren't going right, a lot of times like with students, they won't realize what they're strumming. So it should just be like a solid, maybe down, up strum, and then they'll kind of change it to all ups, or some kind of weird thing. It's the same thing. It's not being able to pay attention and to correct. So you simplify what you need to do and pay attention when it's like, oh, when I change to this chord, this is what my body wants to do. And I've got to stop it. I've got to interrupt it and say, no, hold on. Do that one more time. Now wait for the D. Now here's the down. Up, down, up. Or even something as simple as, a scale where you're missing notes. And you're like, oh, I always miss this note, when you're trying to go here. You've got to slow it down so much. Think matrix. And just down, up. So that it's going into your muscles in a clean way. Because the biggest thing that happens with bad technique is that it goes into your muscles. So if every time I go for this note and I kind of do that, and I guess and my hands jerk or something happens here, that is going into your programming every single time. So that's why we say practice makes perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect. And I'm not down for perfect because, that's a whole other can of worms for upsetting the mental balance of wanting to play the guitar. But I want you to consider how many times did you do it wrong and how many times did you do it right? Because it's much better for your technique and for breaking bad habits if you just did 1, 2, 3, 4, and you did it clean twice that slow, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that was 2 to 1. 3 to 1. Okay, I got it. So that was 3 times wrong and 2 times kind of right. If you do the math, and I'm not even good at math, I'm really not. But I can do that one as far as where is that going to tilt for good technique or good habits. So think about the slowest that you need to go to nail it almost every time, And again, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to work stuff out. I always talk to my students about when you watch a kid build coordination, when they start walking, they don't just walk one time, fall down, get up, and then they're fine walking for the rest of their life, right? It's weird and it's awkward and they're falling all over and hitting themselves on tables, and maybe that was just me, I don't know. I got a lot of concussions as a kid. But it takes a while for the coordination to get smooth and to go into muscle memory. So take that in for yourself of my muscles don't know what to do. That's all it is. So if I'm slow with it, if I'm patient with it, if I get it right more than I get it wrong, that is going to build good technique, and that's going to break the bad habits and start you on a path where you don't develop as many bad habits. But I would say don't get too down on yourself if you do realize you have a bad habit. I just realized I've been playing for a long time. I've been playing for over 20 years. And I just realized that the way that I bend is not great. Just realized that. I was there's a better way for me to bend. My coordination is a little off because I haven't done it. I haven't practiced it the way I've practiced the other way. But I noticed my intonation was overall better, and it took way less energy than the way that I was doing it. But it's humbling. And that's just what we all go through. We go as far as we can. We see why we can't go any further. We back up, change what we're doing, and then go slightly further. And that is the process. So if you do find oh man, my thumb's up here. Oh, I've been bending out of tune this whole time. Or I don't know what the heck's going on with my strumming hand. I didn't realize that. It's very humbling, and it can really bring you down mentally. But look at it as a positive of I just found a trouble spot. This gives me an opportunity to fix it. And if I can fix it, it's going to make me a better player. And it's going to bring me closer to being the player that I want to be. So keep these in mind as you're looking at your bad habits or maybe techniques that aren't going so well. It's really, really important, and I would encourage you to do this weekly. Just spend a couple minutes once a week, twice a week. It doesn't have to be all the time, but this is very important to get you to the next level, is pay attention, go slow, watch what your body is doing and watch what it wants to do, because it's going to want to do things that you don't want it to do. And remember, you can be in control of that, but you have to be patient and you have to play it right way more times than you play it wrong. If you play it right 10 times, you play it wrong twice, I dig that. If you play it right 3 times and you play it wrong twice, I would say take a look at that. That might not be the best way for you to get it ingrained in your body in a confident way. So that's it for that. Let me know if you have any questions, or let me know if you have found other ways to build better technique or get yourself out of some bad habits. So this, as always, is a Patreon supported video. My patrons are bad. I don't think I should cuss. I know I have kids watching this video. I'm sure they've heard a lot worse if they are on YouTube, but I shouldn't cuss. I really wanted to say it. They're bad. They're bad people in a good way, you know. Not bad isn't bad, but bad isn't good. That's the slang these days, I hear. I don't know any slang. I'm too old for slang. But no, they're incredible. They keep me motivated to do these videos and continue to share my thoughts and philosophies on guitar and guitar playing and practicing and all that stuff. So if you're interested in being a patron that is bad as in good, not bad as in bad, please go to www.patreon.com/JenTrani, and you can see how to support these and get some rewards. And man, the coolest thing right now is we've been doing this Google Hang, and we have the best people in the Google Hang. We have such a good time, and we're gonna have one soon. So join if you want to, and if not, just like, comment, subscribe. You know how to do it. That's all I got. I think it's bedtime. I'm pretty sure. 4:10. We're good.